Today's lesson will focus on outcomes and diagram trees to solve for probability. The objective of this lesson is to use a diagram tree and multiplication to determine the number of outcomes. This is the second lesson in topic 20 of Envision. These are the vocabulary words that you will need for this lesson. Let's begin with understanding outcomes. Here I have two spinners, spinner 1 and spinner 2. What are the possible outcomes of each spinner? Well, on the first spinner, there are two colors. The first color is blue. The second color is red. So the two outcomes are blue and red. Let's look at spinner 2. There are three possible outcomes. We have green, we have yellow, and we have blue. Those are the possible outcomes. What are the possible outcomes of the spinners if they were spun at the same time? So if I spun the first spinner, it could either land on blue, which I'm going to use the B, capital B, or it can land on red, which I'm going to use R. Now for spinner 2, it could land on either green or yellow or blue. So the possible outcomes could be blue-green, blue-yellow, or blue-blue if they were spun at the same time. This is a diagram tree. This is an organized list. If it landed on red for spinner 1, it could also land on green for spinner 2. Or the first spinner could land on red and then yellow. Or red and then blue. So the possible outcomes are red-green, red-yellow, or red-blue. This is a diagram tree. This is an organized list. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outcomes. 2 on the first spinner and 3 on the second one. So if I use multiplication, 2 times 3 equals 6. 6 possible outcomes. Let's look at problem solving. Taryn has two spinners. The first spinner has 6 sections and is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The second spinner is split into 2 sections and is labeled A and B. If he spins both spinners at the same time, what are all the possible outcomes that could result? So first I'm going to start by drawing my two spinners. A and B. One, two, three, four, 5, and 6. Try that again. Okay. Spinner A can land on 1, it can land on 2, it can land on 3, it can land on 4, 5, or 6. So A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible outcomes for landing on A and then one of the 6. It could land on B and then 1, B then 2, B then 3, B then 4, B 5, or B and 6. B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, or B6. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 possible outcomes for landing on B and then one of those 6. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 possible outcomes. This is a diagram tree. This is an organized list. I can also solve for how many outcomes by multiplying 2 sections on the first spinner times 6 on the second. Means there are 12 possible outcomes. Let's look at practice. I have bag 1 that has numbers 1, 3, 5, and 7 in it. And bag 2 has 3 colored squares. A blue square, a red square, a rectangle, sorry, and a yellow rectangle. What are all the possible outcomes for picking one card from bag 2? So I can pick a blue rectangle card, a red rectangle card, or a yellow rectangle card. Make a tree diagram to show all the possible outcomes for picking one card from bag 1 followed by one card from bag 2. If I had a 1 from the first bag, it could be with a blue card, 1, the red, and 1 with a yellow. So as a diagram tree, it would look like this: blue, red, yellow. Now let's do 3. 3, blue, 3, red, 3, yellow. Okay, let's do 5, 5, blue, 5, red, 5, yellow. Okay, last one. I'm just going to work way up here. 7, blue, 7 red, 7 yellow. So the number of outcomes would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 possible outcomes. And that makes sense because there are 4 cards, number cards, in the first bag, and 3 color rectangle squares cards in the second one. 1, 2, 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. Now it is your turn. Spin spinner 3 once and toss the number cube once. What are the possible outcomes? The spinner is blue, red, yellow, and green. Pick one letter card from bag 3 and toss the number cube once. What are all the possible outcomes? Lastly, pick one letter card from bag 3 and spin spinner 3 once. What are all the possible outcomes? And writing to explain. You do not need to copy the problem, but you do need to write your explanation and solve. Caitlin has packed carrots, celery, and cucumbers for a snack. She has 5 different dips to choose from. She says she has 20 different combinations of dips and veggies. Is she correct? Draw a diagram tree to justify your answer and then explain. And lastly, in box 4, give an example of when you would need to use combinations in real life. That's all for now.